Well, damn, it's not even been that long since the last update video on Inazuma 11 Victory Road beta, demo, whatever. But yeah, here we are, back with some new news. So before we get into it, as you can see guys, I am on 248 subscribers. The goal is 1,000 by the end of 2024. I reckon we can hit it. So yeah, if you guys do enjoy the videos at any point, a like and a subscribe would be really appreciated. Anyway, let's get into it. So basically, there was some more information released for Inazuma 11. And as I mentioned before, I'm in an Inazuma 11 Discord. I'll put the link in the description if you guys want to join. There's some really great people in here making some great stuff. And so we have the Discord here, and the news has been compiled by Electric 7 Titan. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick read of the information, and then we'll kind of break it down a little bit, and then you guys can let me know in the comments if this is new to you or if anything's particularly interesting or exciting. So first point is, so this new update will be the beta bug and balance fixes, which will be ready and are possibly ready to be released tomorrow. So I guess that could be less than 24 hours from the time I record this, or likelihood is around the time that this video comes out. So yeah, but the story is also nearly ready, so they may be released at the same time, which would actually be sick, because I reckon if we get the story, surely that also means we'll have access to some of the story mode characters as well as unlockable. So I guess we'll have to see when it comes to that. Beta and Protocol Omega 2.0 kit will be released. So beta as in the actual character beta, and Protocol Omega, obviously the team that she spearheads, captains. I think it's just the kit. Yeah, you mentioned the kit, but beta as an actual character will be released. But I'd be curious to see how that works, because it's a bit counterintuitive, I guess, to release beta but not all of Protocol Omega as well. So we'll see. But here's some of the big stuff. If you disconnect, you will now be classed as losing. If your opponent disconnects, you shall receive all items received up to that point in the match. You can now surrender in a match, and you will still receive items if you surrender. This is what we needed. As you guys saw in that in my video, my first one on the journey to world, the first ranked video, someone disconnected straight away because they got a terrible super tactic, which, to be fair, I can't blame him for. But now he could just choose to surrender, and then there's no negative to me, and no real negative to him. There are also going to be updates that hope to reduce lag, so this is going to be good, because currently in some online games, you literally go in the exact direction that someone is, you predict them, and somehow they still get past you, or you follow the way it looks that they're going, and then when the lag kind of updates, they've actually gone the opposite way, and it's just so counterintuitive. There's also going to be UI changes, making it easier to edit teams, which is good. Editing teams right now is quite tedious. All actions such as moving players can now be done in the training, which is good. You can now see the model for what uniform and equipment looks like in the shop. I guess that's just like, there'll be like an endo that we can spin around, put the actual kits on them and see what it looks like. There will also be a match history tab where you can see the results of past matches. That's just good. I didn't even think of that as something to report, but that will actually be very useful. An advanced judge setting. In the case of a tie, a winner will be chosen by judgment. See, now this doesn't make sense to me. Like, what do you mean in the case of a tie? It's just if you draw, they're going to choose a winner. Am I missing something, or is that like... It doesn't really make much sense, because... Wait, in the event of a tie? Unless this means, like, if your shot and your block, aka if you shoot and your attack stat is the exact same as the defensive stat, but I'm not actually too sure if that's what it means. I guess this is one of those ones that we'll have to see how it actually plays out in game. The timer will now progress correctly when special tactics are taking place. I'm assuming I don't think we really had a timer before. You just kind of assumed. So I think now that that'll actually be visible and you'll be able to see how much time you have before your special tactics kind of are refreshed. The timer will now progress correctly during phases of a match. Okay, so yeah, clearly it wasn't really shown before. Moves UI is being changed. So where a move can be used and if a move is a shot chain or a shot block is now shown. Okay, so I assume that's just going to be like some indicators to kind of let you know whether your move can shot chain or not. Although I think they all can, unless I'm missing something. Well, if they're a shot, but I'm not really sure what I'm missing here. But we'll see. Players won't be as offside as often. For example, when your forwards aren't being controlled, they won't go offside as much, so you can't easily long pass to them from the midfield and take a shot with a forward who was offside and wasn't being marked. Okay, yeah. I mean, the whole offside thing is just, it was pretty egregious before, so the fact that they're going to change the kind of AI of characters to make sure that they're not just massively offside because they're not really getting penalised. But then I also think that they should make it more of an emphasis on the offside advantage penalty that you get to kind of further dissuade people from actually, just making a through ball to someone who is offside. Where are we up to? So a through pass has now been implemented. So by holding the B button, you can choose the cursor to choose where to pass. And so hopefully we can also use this with the goalkeeper so that we can actually not just get trolled at the very start of, like, you're building out your attack and you're trying to pass it to your defenders and then all of a sudden their attacker just steals the ball, scores on you. Sad times. So hopefully that won't happen. Breach rates for you and your opponent will be clearly shown. So I think that the icons for breach rate, they were just icons showing a percentage, but it didn't actually let us know what the actual exact breach rate that you have is, which I think, yeah, it will be good to kind of see. So you just kind of know, okay, with all these, with my full breach team or whatever it is that you're rocking, what percentage chance of actually breaching the goalkeeper you have at any given moment in the game. So that'll be obviously useful. Before, if you had enough tension before a shot chain, a breach could occur. Now you need enough tension at the end of a shot chain to do a breach. So if you use a Hisatsu and don't have enough tension for a breach after the Hisatsu, the move will not breach. That's good, because now you're really having to think about basically how you're going about things. That might mean that a breach strategy, you might not actually want to use your Hisatsus as much because you might want to save tension for the possibility of being able to breach. So it adds an extra layer of complexity, gives you a bit more to think about. If you beat a higher level team than yours in ranked, you get more XP, and this is displayed after winning a match. Yeah, I've got nothing wrong with that. That's just fair play. If you got the skills to beat someone higher level than you, you should be rewarded with XP accordingly. You no longer have to wait for spectators to ready up in lobby to start a match. That's good, because if you're trying to do a quick match, you kind of want to be able to just get into it. There's a hide password setting for streamers to hide the code in lobby. It doesn't really concern me. I'm not streaming the game right now. Players will have one Hisatsu at level 1. I didn't actually realize that some didn't have any at level 1, but that is a good addition. It just kind of makes sense. Added stamp/emote functions to room matches. Oh, I thought this was just going to be online in general, because if that was online, that would just be toxic, wouldn't it? You could already just see someone scores their second breach on you to start the game. You're 2-0 down, and then they just start emote laughing at you, mate. You're gonna want to surrender for sure. So I'm glad that that's just in room matches. Add the level 50 Alias Masters match. Now this will actually be a challenge, because I saw some people beating the level 30 Alias team with like a level 10 team. So yeah, it was kind of invalidating the whole level 30 thing. But now level 50 should be like that, because isn't that the level 50 is meant to be the final level, at least when the game gets released initially. That'll be the highest level that you can reach. I would assume over time they probably will raise that up to 100. But yeah, Level 50 Alias will also have new Hisatsus, which is interesting. I'll be curious to know which Hisatsus those are, because they're still only going to have access to 2. So they're going to have to think outside the box a little bit. Other bug fixes to be... Alright, there will be other bug fixes as well. And this is all from Twitter translated. Right, okay, yeah, this is just Logan explaining. And to clarify about disconnections, if you're the one to disconnect, you'll receive a loss. So you'll lose ranking points. You'll also not gain any items. If your opponent disconnects, you'll be given a win. So you'll receive 100 points and gain all items up to that point in the match. Okay, that's good, that's good. And if you surrender, you'll lose the 50 points, but still gain all items received up to that point. Currently unsure if you'll receive XP if your match ends in surrender or a disconnect. Okay, so he's saying that if you choose to surrender or disconnect, he's not sure if you'll actually gain any XP from that. I would assume if you disconnect, you're definitely not going to. If you surrender, I actually think that they will still give you XP. I think it might be reduced. It might be reduced XP and reduced items if you surrender, which would kind of make sense. But yeah, that's a summary of like the info. So I guess I'll be curious to see if it does get released tomorrow and there is like extra information. I won't have new videos on the new stuff until probably middle of next week, because I'm going to schedule this, maybe one other video and another road to ranked, because I'm going to be away until Monday. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get the rest of those videos out, but at the very least you should get this one on Saturday. So if you guys did enjoy the video, remember, please do drop a comment, a like, and a subscribe if you're looking forward to some of the next videos on the channel. I appreciate all you guys, and until the next one, deuces.